name is Jidenna. Originally from Nigeria, Enugu, Nigeria. To be precise, in Nigeria, you know, we say, yeah, I'd say I'm from Imo State, but I grew up in Enugu. After Enugu, I moved to the U.S. I moved to Boston, went to school in California, and then kind of lived in the four corners of the U.S.
Can you tell us about you in the UK right now? You've been busy over the last 2 days with interviews, press runs. Why are you here right now, and what's your mission?
Well, I just left. I went to Lagos. I went to Enugu, Nigeria. Then I went to Joburg in South Africa, and now I'm here in London. What's amazing, man, is there's never been a U.S.-based artist that's begun a promo tour by going to Africa first and then to Europe, even before he or she begins a run in the U.S. to promote the album. So this is something that's epic, pun intended. So I salute to Epic Records, Sony, Sylvia Rone and L.A. Reid have really championed this movement and this tour. So it's great to end up on the last leg in London, which I've never been to, and I'm learning so much just by being here. I'm out here promoting the debut album, Long Live the Chief, as well as the 2 records we have out that we released like a few weeks ago, Cheap Don't Run and a little bit more. Being a dance record that definitely is fused with Afro beats, and then Cheap Don't Run, which is more of a street record, hip hop record. Where we're at with Afro beats and where we're at with African music at large is the most important time in our musical history, ever. It's never. I can't even believe there's Afrobeat shows out here. In the U.S., you don't see that much. Like, the best thing you could ever see is some college DJ put Afrobeats on for 1 hour. But the fact that it's moving throughout Africa, throughout the West Indies, throughout the UK specifically, and then now with some of the what I call the bridge builders, the Davido, the Tiwa Savage, the Wiz Kids, and those people really pushing the music and having collaborations that are moving the U.S. to the market as well, man. That shit's great, man. We gotta celebrate it. It's and it's youth, is driven by the youth, man. It's about us young people. That's how much power we have. So I love where we're at now, and I know I'm building the bridge from the other end. But I just want to shout out all the DJs, all the artists, all the listeners that are making this movement happen, because we're pushing it ourselves and we all in it on one accord. It's beautiful to see. I just want us to recognize that moment.
And if there was anything you want people to take from this body of work you're about to release, what would it be?
I feel like we sometimes are too cool, man, right now. The reason I love Afrobeats right now is the attitude and the dance moves and the melodies, the rhythm that makes people just have a certain face, man, a certain movement. I love it, because for a while now it's been like that, too cool. Motherfuckers afraid to sweat and shit. Motherfuckers afraid to put their phone down for a second and just be present. To me, it's like I just want people to be loose, to be cool. I want, if it's a love record, let it be a love record. Let it not be some shit where I'm like, she wants me, I'm the motherfucker, man. Motherfuckers used to really sing and beg and plead for a woman, and I ain't afraid to do that. I think that shit's great. Sometimes it's game, but I mean, to me it's a more romantic element of life, not just to romanticize love, but romanticize everything. There's records on my album I'm romanticizing war and wanting to kill a motherfucker for my family. I'm also romanticizing love. I'm also romanticizing humanity, and that we can all live in harmony. So anything that I'm doing, I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it to the highest level, man, the nth degree. That's really what the record's about, and not being so much here. And that's kind of why I wear this shit. It's a reflection of what's going on. And people are all stiff the whole time, or like dress up and put contour on the face and, get the cleanest lineup. That's all dandy. But if you ain't gonna live life to the fullest, then ain't no fucking point of living. You might as well have your best dressed day in a casket.
Okay. And I have to bring up the phrase classic man, and I have to ask, what does it mean to you? How do you define it?
The classic man is not defined by fashion, contrary to common perception. It's all about the character and the way you carry yourself. So for me, the suit was kind of a uniform for me, one of the uniforms that I wear. But if you're a sanitation worker, a barber, a tailor, a teacher, any type of profession, but you're a working man and you carry yourself with a certain amount of dignity, a mix of the class and ratchet could still be a classic man. So that to me is what makes a classic man a classic.
And I found out that you were influenced with your style from your father,
Yeah.
who was a very important individual. And how exactly did he influence your style?
Well, my father used to wear these three-piece suits when I was coming up in Nigeria, and even before I was born. In the 70s, he wore like the bell-bottom flared suits. Then later, in the 90s, when I was a little boy, he used to walk around with a cane. He actually needed the cane. He was becoming an old man. So when he passed away, I wanted to wear what he wore and embody a lot of him. So I would walk with a cane. I wear three-piece suits like he used to wear when he was a professor in Nigeria. And then I started incorporating Ankara and Adire fabric on both, my accessories, the sleeves of my shirts, and then sometimes the lapels or the entire suit.
Style, the way you carry yourself, the way you present yourself to the media is very much, it's very mature, it's very grown. How do you think you're going to capture the youth? Of course you already have, but do you think you want to influence them to start focusing a bit more on their style as well as their music? Is that something you'd like to put across to the youth as well?
Yeah, I mean, the youth are already with me, because they never seen this. You come to a stage show of mine, man. By the end of the show, I'm sweating. My hair is messed up and I've ripped my clothes. That's really why I do this. I study every single person who's kind of come into a society and just mess it up. If I look at everybody, the way Marley approached music, to me it's all about going in, of course, with a certain amount of dignity, but man, it's all fun, man. It ain't like I'm definitely not serious all the time. I'm playful as hell. I just got a vision and a mission to execute. But besides that, man, I just that's why we call it swank, man. It ain't about I'm sitting here and I'm extraordinary and tea, trumpet, and crumpets, and it's not all about that. To me, it's a balance, man. I feel like a big kid and an old soul.
And how important do you think it is for an emerging African artist to embrace the culture and sort of infuse that in their music and their everyday living? Because you do it very well.
I believe that we always embrace African cultures, whether we know it or we don't. It doesn't mean that we have to wear like Ankara all day or up and downs and all these things, man. Sometimes it's just our melodies or our general swank and the way we move. Those who are aware of it, I think it's beautiful because for a long time we've run away from our long names. We've run away from some of our traditional wear or maybe our traditional musical sounds and rhythms and try to imitate others. So I love when I see artists that are fully aware of it and stay woke about it, because that's where our power is to know ourselves so others can know about us.
A very well-travelled man. Do you think you'll always have Africa as the centre of what you do, Nigeria at the centre of what you do? Obviously you're going to be moving around a lot throughout your career, but will you always have that as the core, or do you think your base and your focus might move in future? You might want to try out other cultures and so on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I definitely love the entire world. I look at myself as a human being first before anything, or a spirit than a human being. So I'm definitely in tune with the entire earth and all countries, but because of my background, because my father's Nigerian, my mother's American, I just feel like a constant bridge. I feel like a bridge between those two continents, and really a bridge for the entire African diaspora, whether the UK or Jamaica. Just the entire diaspora feels like it runs through me. When I was in Boston, I first moved to the Boston area. And even in Brooklyn, I was around West Indians and West Africans. Like that was all I was around: Haitians, Trinis, Jamaicans, and so Guyanese, and then Nigerians, Ghanaians, Congolese. So I feel very close to the whole diaspora. So naturally, I think my focus in life will start there and start with those people of African descent, as well as America. That's just a natural thing. My father raised me as a Garveyite, so I don't think I can ever divorce the principles of Marcus Garvey and what the culture, the style, and the music that I make. Now there's a lot of people that may read me just through the classic man lens. Like I remember when I hit up Burna Boy on the phone before I got to Lagos, and he was like, "Oh man," he's like, "Man, tell me," he's like, tell me you drink, man, and smoke, man. You can tell me you're not just classic, man, all the like." And I was like, "Yo, of course." It's funny that people even ask me that. Anybody that knows me knows I smoke all day and drink from 8 o'clock in the morning. I already drank today. It's like this, you think that's tea, man. It's like that's my life, and I don't want to hide anything. The whole point of dressing like this is what my uncle said: you can get away with many things when you wear suits. It's true. But for those that think his hair is permed and whatnot, it ain't permed. The reason I did this, man, is because in the U.S. we're living in a time that we call the New Jim Crow era. That's a book by Michelle Alexander. Instead of lynchings, you have police murders. Instead of slavery and people in shackles, you have too many black people and Latino people as well being thrown in the prisons. I don't believe like you gotta be all the time. That's a natural thing for me, but it doesn't mean that you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't have fun, you can't fuck, you can't love, you can't fully release yourself. You can't walk through the street naked if you want. You know what I mean? Shit, I might do that. Maybe next time I come, I'll do that. I'm gonna take all 3 pieces off and show everybody. That's what I stand for, man. Freedom of humanity, freedom of expression. That's the true I.